In a dementia residence room, in a dementia unit, the two main things are warm bedding for winter and a comfortable chair all year round. Everything else is accessory. So warm bedding, you can just pretty much assume institutionalized bedding will be cold and uncomfortable. So bring in a whole new set, small carload, the warm sheets, 2 sets, the lovely feather pillow or their favourite pillow, a warm duvet, feather is best, a mohair rug for over the knees and top of the bed, and maybe a spare blanket. That's it. Bring that all in, and then the warm bedding will be in place, and a warm heater, of course, if the room's cold. Now the chair, the old favourite. Keep to the old favourite chair. That is the right size, the right shape, that the person can get in and out of easily. These are the main features, because what happens is that institutionalized furniture is uncomfortable. The chair is a standard chair in the room, often more suitable for a 6-foot man than a small 5-foot lady. They've generally got a really straight back, long seat, high and uncomfortable. And if your mother's, say, 5'3", she'll need a smaller seat and a smaller base and a height that she can get out of. And no doubt her favourite chair has suited her all these years, so it's best to bring in that. Don't worry about getting a new seat. Don't worry if it's a bit tatty. Bring in the old favourite out of the attic if you need to. Put a rug over it or something. But it is very important to have a seat that works for your mother or father, because if the person can't get independently in and out of their chair in their room, they'll be stuck. I mean, they have to be independent in a D3 initial entry dementia unit. They need to be independent with transfers, sitting to standing included. So they need to be able to stand up from the chair independently. So for that, the chair needs to be of a height that they can get out of easily. It's very difficult if the chair's high for, a small lady to be able to manoeuvre within it. Now, in dementia units, I've noticed that in terms of relatives taking note of bedding and getting warm bedding for their parent and noticing that that's important, I'd say about 1/3 of relatives would make effort with that or notice that it's even an issue. So 2/3 of the patients or the residents have cold sheets, polystyrene cover, no warmth, no wool, no feathers, no anything. In a cold room at night often if the heat's not on, which sometimes it isn't, or if it is at a low degree. So 1/3 of the relatives would bring in, say, a duvet, a mohair rug, maybe sheets. Oh, not many, only 2 in 30 would think of the sheets. Maybe 5 out of 30 would think about the pillow. It's a bit ad hoc, but 1/3 of the relatives, let's say, would think about the bedding, most of the bedding. In terms of the chair, about half of the relatives would think about the bedding, the chair, and bring in the comfortable chair that mum's always been used to, or at least a more suitable chair from home. But other than that, then the other people, the other half is left with the stock standard straight-backed uncomfortable chair. And those poor residents that don't have supportive friends and family, it really is dire. I mean, I've got cold bedding, no heater, no warm clothes, and an uncomfortable chair. I just do not know how they manage. Imagine it. It's just so difficult. I mean, even if you're able-bodied, young and strong, to be able to live in such a circumstance, let alone if you're older, disorientated and having dementia. Really, they're remarkable how they manage it all. It's just really so much consideration needs to happen. I mean, it would actually be better, to be honest, if the lounge chairs from the lounge are generally much more comfortable than the chairs that they put in the bedrooms, because they're, on show for relatives, VIPs and management. So they've got good furniture out in the lounge, but look in the bedrooms and you'll see it's stock standard basic uncomfortable stuff. But if they brought the lounge chairs into the bedroom, that would be a good start. If they had heaters available for those people whose relatives aren't coming in and bringing in heaters, provide those heaters for those people, or some volunteer organisation bring in 20 heaters into the dementia unit. That would be a good idea, because the facility pays for the heating, at least in New Zealand, and so then those poor people without heat can have a heater. And then the bedding, that's another big subject. Maybe St Vincent or De Paul or Salvation Army have spare bedding. Well, they always have sheets, I know that. Blankets are hard to come by in winter, of course, woolly blankets. But look, there must be some charitable organisation, Christian organisation, that can help with this, at least for people of their own church. It would be good if the Christian community came in to the people of their own church, Catholics, Anglicans, came in to visit, looked at their room and just see practically what do they need. Do they need a chair? Do they need bedding? Do they need a heater? And this is a great help, because these people really, if they can have a warm room, warm bedding and a comfy chair, at least then they can be comfortable, and from then on in have a chance of a better quality of life. And it's not a big thing, is it? Setting up the bed with warm bedding and then one small heater on wheels and then a comfy chair. And it doesn't have to be all brand spanking new, as long as it's clean and then the person's organised. So I think this really needs to be considered for these people in these facilities. There must be some way of being able to go about helping, and at least having awareness for our own relative. That's a start, isn't it? Our own friends and family, having an awareness of these issues. And then also what happens is relatives start to look along the line of rooms, and if they can see Mrs. Jones now has got a nice duvet and a feather pillow and mohair rug, nice colours, brightening up the room and keeping mum warm, they're more likely to follow on the other relatives, because the doors are open a lot of the time when you walk along the corridor. So if you can observe these things, it's very quick often for relatives to pick up and catch on. And that's a great thing. At least we learn from others' examples. So I've written about these topics and more in these companion books, The Resident's Voice and The Resident's Rise. First book, pocket size note or handbag size. First book for when your family member goes into a dementia unit, everything you need to know to help there. Second book, when they're in the dementia unit well and truly, and all the issues and challenges that you're likely to face and how you can help there. So both books as a pack, look at that, blue and orange. And I came up with the orange colour because of the orange sunsets at Sumner. I go there in the morning to look at the sunrises, not sunrises, sunrise. And this beautiful orange colour of the sunrise in the morning I thought would be a good colour for the book, and The Residents Rising and Thriving. So the two books, get on Amazon and my website, pietavalentine.com. Now, thank you very much to all the new subscribers coming in thick and fast on TikTok, and all the rise, yes, actually that's good, the rise, yes. Thank you, TikTok, for the rise. And it's just fantastic. So appreciate it for this platform, for the dementia residents' voice to be heard, for their needs to be heard, for the voice to get out there for what they need to be comfortable, warm, and sufficiently set up so they can sit comfortably, lie comfortably, and at least from then on have a chance at a quality of life. Thank you for your support, and please subscribe, and all the best, YouTube. Thank you.